She knew nothing about him, not even his name, for heaven's sake. No matter how witty or intelligent his letters, a man who wrote articles as a gentleman in the Classical Gazette and signed his letters K was probably some ancient don. She should be inquiring after his gout, not imagining him riding up on a white horse to save her from her boring life. She frowned at her father. "Perhaps you'd like to tutor the Windley—" She heard a sudden banging. "I say, isn't that someone at the door?" Papa clutched his precious Catullus to his chest and looked over her shoulder, relief evident in his face. She was not going to let him escape. Every time she tried to get him to face their dire financial situation, he found a way to dodge the conversation. Not this time. "Papa, The banging got louder. "There, don't you hear it? Someone is knocking at the door." "I don't—" Damn. Their caller was not going to give up. The fellow risked pounding a hole in the wood. She treated her father to her best glare. "We'll resume this conversation as soon as I find out who that is." Papa looked so damnably innocent. "I'll come with you." "Don't think to slip past me and escape. We are going to have this talk."
"Joe, you wound me."
Papa tried to look wounded, but failed.
"Go see who is knocking."
"I am." She stalked to the door and threw it open. A haughty-looking footman dressed in Baron Graham's black and grey livery stood on the threshold, his hand raised to knock again. He looked her up and down, and then sniffed, clearly not approving of what he saw. She clenched her fists to keep from smoothing her hair or skirt. "Yes?"
"I have an invitation for Miss Josephine Atworthy from his lordship Baron Graham."
If the man tilted his nose any farther into the air, he'd fall over backward. "I am Miss Atworthy." The footman actually cringed. She tilted her nose in the air. She might not look like the Baron's cousin. Well, she probably did look like his poor relation. Her dress was showing its age a bit, but damn it, it was still serviceable. She had no time or money to follow the silly vagrancies of fashion. He'd addressed a spot above her head.
"Lord Graham sends his regards, Miss Atworthy, and requests the pleasure of your company at a gathering he is hosting in honor of St. Valentine's Day."
He offered her a sheet of vellum. She stared at it, as if it were a snake. The bad Baron was inviting her to one of his scandalous gatherings. There must be some mistake. The footman looked as if he thought so too, but restrained himself with some effort from saying so.
"If you are indeed Miss Atworthy, there is no mistake."
He offered her the paper again. She considered rejecting it again, but that seemed rather silly, and she'd admit she was curious. She took it.
"Of course she's Miss Atworthy," Papa said. "Who else would she be? Helen of Troy?"
The footman was not a classics scholar.
"Lord Graham didn't mention a Miss Troy."
Joe perused the invitation. "Lady Graham writes that one of their female guests came down with a putrid throat at the last minute. They need me to make up their numbers."
"I see."
Papa, trying unsuccessfully to hide a grin, shrugged.
"Then you'd best go pack your things."
Joe crumpled the note. "I'm not going. What are you thinking?" Papa patted her arm.
"Don't worry. I'll be fine on my own."
She was going to grind her teeth to dust. "I've no doubt."